it's a really interesting story there. Is one of the rangers, Sinzani. You always get that person you have an affiliation with, and you just click. And I just clicked with this guy, and I just had so much respect for him. I mean, the stories you hear even before he was a ranger, he was a watchman at a house, which is, pretty normal job, security guard. And these guys broke into the house to try and rob the place. Sinzani confronted him. The guys had a knife and had stabbed Sinzani in the arm. Sinzani, being the guy he is, leapt after the intruder, chased him down, and beat the absolute shit out of him with the knife hanging out of his arm. And that tells you a bit about what kind of guy he is and how dedicated he is to his role. And now you get that guy and you stick him as a ranger, you put him in front of rhinos, which he deeply loves, in front of elephants, which, that's what being a ranger is. You have love of animals, and this guy would just do anything. And I was I think I was washing the car, as you do, and I get this call through on the radio, that really broken call, like, Sinzani, crocodile, first aid kit, and I'm like, oh God. So quite lucky I was right next to the car, first aid kit's already in the car, and I've just shot off to the area we thought it was. We get down there and we see him lying there next to a tree. The other rangers are there with him. He was quite lucky that he was there with them. And I get there and he just looks in really bad state, cuts and bruises all over, still conscious, all that sort of thing. He's got some socks that were used as makeshift bandages on him because unfortunately they weren't carrying their first aid kit at the time. And I get there and I says, "Are you okay?" And he's like, yeah, I think I'm okay. And it's like, "Oh, well, what's the worst part?" And he goes, "Oh, my legs." So take the socks off his legs, and oh yeah, sure enough, all the skin split open. So we start patching him up, slowly working your way through. I see he had a big tooth mark in his head. I don't know how he managed to get out of that one, but I was a bit worried about potential concussion, brain injuries, things like that. And the very last thing he says, "Oh yeah, I've got a bit of a cut on my thumb." And so we unwind the sock, and half the thumb's missing. It's just blood squirts out everywhere, and I'm like, "What do you mean this is the least thing? How is this the last thing you're telling me about?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry boss." I'm like, "Come on, man, like your thumb is missing. That's like number one." So anyway, we strapped it up, got him on the car and shot him off to hospital. And I mean, it took a couple of months for him to recover. Obviously, the thumb was gone. But the story, how did you, what happened? And he's like, "Well, yeah, I was just, down by the water on a patrol, and the crocodile shot out and actually grabbed my legs, started trying to pull me into the water." The crocodile is about 2 meters, which is actually quite beneficial because any bigger crocodile probably would have easily pulled him in, and it would have been the last time we ever saw Sinzani. But the crocodile started pulling him in. And I'm like, "Well, how did you get out of it?" And he goes, "Well, I grabbed the crocodile's jaws, and I just tried with all my might to just pull it open. And then, I managed to get my leg out, but then he snapped onto my thumb." And I'm like, "All right, but then what happened?" And he goes, "Well, we're rolling around with the crocodile, and so then I just kneed it in the head, and it let go." And I mean, I have him tell me this story as many times as I can, because I still just can't believe it. I'm like, "What, you pulled a crocodile's jaws open and kneed it in the head to get away from a Nile crocodile?" "Yeah." And it's just like, holy shit.